Rugs and Opera coming at you for the podcast.
This is your podcast for yesterday.
For yesterday.
June 15th.
That's right.
Today is June 16th. We had to record this one day late because it fucking happens.
So fucking get over it.
Yeah, it's Father's Day in America. Happy Father's Day, Mike.
Hey, thank you.
It's hard to remember because Father's Day is different in Germany.
That's right.
In the States.
Happy Father's Day to my father.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to Jared's father. I'll do it for you.
Thanks,
I'll
man.
do it for you.
I was distracted. You got 33 tabs open on your phone, man. You're one of those.
Yeah, well, you know, I've got some projects going on the side. Got to do some shopping there. Got
one of those
some
tab hoarders.
SDAO.
How many emails you got in your inbox?
Oh God, it's well. Look, I used to keep it straight up. I used to keep it organized in folders, get everything out of the inbox. Okay. I'm well over thousands now.
No, I like to keep my tabs at 0, my inbox at 0, my friends at fucking 0. Don't give me that fake laugh.
If you are no, it's not actually a fake laugh. It's reserved because again, my voice is a bit poop stained.
Okay.
Bit poop stained, and I've got to sing tonight also. So I don't know. I don't mean to be one of those.
Bitches.
One of those little bitchy singers, but I gotta protect
the voce.
My voce.
Mike, I appreciate that we got no video today, but you still wear all the merch.
I wear the merch just to get myself in
it gets me pumped up, man.
In the mood.
It gets me pumped up. Speaking of merch, hit up our merch site.
Baby,
right?
Merch is launched. We've been saying it since season 1.
Yeah, no, it's up. We got shirt orders. We're getting them out, but be patient, because we kind of got flooded in the beginning. So for those of you that ordered shirts, we're on it. We're printing them. We're sending them, but you'll have to give us a couple weeks before they get sent out. But they're on the way. It's all on the way.
We kind of got a little gender-centric for it. By our first print, there were more men's shirts than women, and we got far more women's orders than we expected to get
because
so far.
we were shopping out for shirts, and I found this good deal on men's shirts, so I just bought a ton.
Yeah, see?
It's not like I was like, more men are going to buy shirts. It was the cheapest one, so I bought it. And then we had a bunch of orders from women. We're like, fuck, we got to get more shirts, man.
Dude, and stickers. We've gotten orders for stickers. I'm excited about the stickers. The
stickers look awesome.
The best out of anything. For some reason, the ink that well, I don't want to say that the posters don't look good because it's the same ink in the posters.
Yeah.
There's I don't know. There's something about these fucking stickers that
well,
just gets me
we
going.
talked about it once. When we designed the logo, it's been such a learning curve for Mike and I. And there's like the CMYK color spectrum and RGB. And it's these digital colors that don't exist in nature, so you can't fucking print them.
Right.
But this dude that's doing our merch, he's getting as close as possible.
No, he's like
this color of the shirt that you're wearing right now, I've never seen that color in my fucking life, man.
Right.
It's wild.
Well, actually, both. We have 2 suppliers right now. The guy who did the stickers, like he. So normally I would when shopping around for shit, I'd look over or I'd talk to somebody and I'd say, oh yeah, we want this, and they're like, okay, well you come in and my parents or something. No, it's gonna cost as much, right? And it was a fucking boring, uninspiring conversation. And I called the one guy up.
Yeah.
He's much more of a mass printer, Like, for instance, a theater would go there to print their
Plug 'em, man. Starke Werbung, man.
No. This is Starke Werbung. The other one is EK.
Oh, you're talking about the stickers.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the shirts.
No. The stickers. Starke Werbung. He bends over backwards for us. That guy in Darmstadt. He's fucking awesome, dude. But hold on. I want to make sure I get the name right. If we're gonna do some official plugging.
Butt plugging.
EK Promotion.
Yeah.
EK Promotion. This guy, he prints much more on like mass production sort of stuff, right?
Like bulk stuff.
Yeah, bulk stuff. And I called thinking, they're not going to want to take our orders and everything. And he has also one of the what's that thing in the internet going around today where like they talk softly into the microphone. What's that called?
Yeah, where it's like you like the sounds, like it's cats eating corn.
AARP or something.
Yeah. I think it's an insurance provider.
No, that's like old Americans or something like that.
Yeah.
No, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. No, the sounds that like make you relax. That's how he talks on the phone.
He had this soothing fucking voice, right? I was enchanted by it, and he's like, send me the. He's like, can you send me the file now?
Yeah.
And I said, because we've had problems with the printing. He's like, I know what you mean. Can you
like a therapist?
Can you send me the file now?
It's gonna be okay, Mike.
Except I can't do his voice because A, it's in German.
Yeah.
And B, he just had this magic.
Yeah.
He had this magic to him.
He drawed you in. That's how he gets business.
Drew me in.
Like the
and
fucking
then
witch.
I sent it to him, and he's like, stay on the line, right?
Oh, he's looking at it right
and
there.
he says, I know exactly what you need.
I know what you need.
He's like, I know exactly what you need.
I'm going to take care of you.
And I said, can we print a trial? And he's like, no, that's unfortunately not how it works. Like, you can't do that with this.
You just go for it.
Because normally printers, what they do is they mix colors, right?
Yeah, it's super complicated. I've learned a lot.
But there's this type of printing where there are these companies that make specific cartridges for a printer, but they're like industrial printers, right? So he bought this cartridge for our merchandise.
Damn.
Right? So now when we go back to him, he's got this specific color. And
that's
like,
good. That's good business,
and he was
man.
explaining to me, and he sat me down. I must have spent an hour and a half.
Yeah.
He sat me down, and he's like, look, if you print on this paper, it's going to look like this, but if you print on this paper, it's going to fucking pop.
Well, I like when people know their shit.
And then he took me in the back and showed me this fucking, like, 20-foot-long printing machine.
Oh, they got machines, man.
Oh, it was
That's why
gorgeous.
you can't go to Kinko's.
No, you can't go to.
And you know what? Like
Kinkies.
this is relevant for those of you that are if you're designing like recital posters or some shit. You know, you can't assume that a picture you're looking at a computer can be printed in the real world. Right. I've met a lot of people that like in university. You know how you always design a recital poster. And you're like, Jared Ice takes you to paradise, right? You have one of these recitals, then you design it, then it comes out looking like shit. You know. Because like also you gotta like be when you make the photo, is the pixels got to be the right size. If you design it, like most people, they'll get into like paint or some shit, and it's like you don't realize that you're designing a photo that's an inch big, and then you try to blow it up on a poster and it looks like shit, and you're like, why? You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So a little rant about merch. Mike and I today we're talking about supporting the arts,
patronage,
baby, which has been around forever.
Yep.
It's changed over the years, but not so much. You know. It hasn't as much.
Paying for art is paying for art.
It's since the first artist, it's fucking existed. And so today we're going to talk about the history of paying for art.
Give you a little bit of the fucking patronage Hall of Fame, who the best ones were,
who
in
the
history.
big ones are. Yeah, but also it's an interesting topic because there's lots of ways to support the arts now more than ever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But also, a lot of times we think like Mozart was fucking free to create whatever the fuck he wanted. No, that's not how it worked, man. It's like
as a matter of fact, the first one that they considered kind of free to create what he wanted was Beethoven.
Yeah.
Beethoven's patron was basically the guy who said, "Look, we want you to just do your shit.
Go fucking wild, man.
Go do your shit." Right.
Well, we'll get into it. Let's keep it in order.
Let's keep it in order.
So what do you want to go to now?
I want to talk about how we, because we talk, we ask for sponsors and everything like that, and people help us out, which we'll get to in a bit. But what the fuck are we doing, Jared?
What the fuck are we doing, man?
What the fuck are we doing? No, it's an important thing because we're putting ourselves out there and we're doing stuff, but we kind of want to give a plug today.
Yeah, we're gonna plug it up. Look, I've told you before on the podcast, and we've plugged people over the show, and it's like we don't charge money or anything. Like if it's fucking interesting and it's going on, let us know. You know what I mean? And I've said before, like a fucking La Boheme in Chicago is not new, so it's like you don't need help with that shit. But if you're doing something new and interesting, fucking let us know. We'll talk about it. We like talking about stuff going on. And spreading the word is kind of Mike's and mine role in this whole thing. Starting a conversation, that's kind of what we do. And there's a company that we talked about a while ago on the podcast. I have no idea when it was. It was early in the season. But they're doing an opera company at a brewery.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't do it, man. And they said they'd send us beer. Did not believe them.
I didn't believe them either.
Did not fucking believe them. I was like, cool. And then I just forgot about it. The beer's sitting right here, bud.
Package of beer.
It's hilarious.
Package of fucking beer, dude.
I want to shit on somebody real quick. Hold on.
What? Why?
Let me pull it up though. I got to make sure I shit on the right people.
You're not talking about our sponsors, are
you? Yeah, I am. Yeah. No. That would be fucking stupid. They sent it with DPD. You know DPD, the delivery.
Double penetration deep or penetration dude. Double penetration dude. That's what it is.
Dark pimply dicks, dude.
Dark.
That's what DPD stands for. Because we're talking about these beers we got from the Infinite Opera Company, right? Up in the UK, and they packaged these beers with this like nice brochure and coasters and all this cool swag that I was hoping to get. And I guess one of the beers fucking exploded because DPD was throwing it around some shit. So DPD repackaged it. That's part of why it took so long for them to get here.
The other shit didn't come with it.
No.
They stole the swag.
They just threw that shit away.
You fucking assholes.
And when they repackaged it, they straight up put these 5 cans of beer just in a box. No bubble wrap, nothing, man. I took a picture because when I picked it up from the package place, it was just I could hear them rolling around in these
crazy
5 cans. So fuck you, DPD, but thanks Infinite Uppercut for sending the beer. So there's
Dark
3
Pimply Dick, come on, seriously.
There's 3 different beers here. So let me give some context to who these people are. Oh God, I just sent them a voice message. I do that all the time on Instagram, dude. I read something and I just, send them a voice message. So if you don't remember, this is an opera company that talked about brewing, and we learned about that. We learned about that women did that a lot back in the day. Remember that? And a lot of these stereotypes about witches with hats and the cauldrons and the brooms, this came from women who were brewing beer, right?
That's fucking awesome.
And this opera is about that. It's about brewing beer, and it's about kind of the feminism aspect of all that stuff. And so they're doing that. So they had 3 parts, and each part of this story is these beers, right? And they have a show on the 26th of July at Dig Brew in Birmingham. So Dig Brew is the brewery that brewed these beers. 26th of July, they're doing all 3 parts in one night. You buy a ticket, and it gives you beer and pizza for the whole fucking evening.
Are you serious?
Yeah, if you don't even like opera, man, just go for the pizza and beer.
How much is a ticket?
Oh,
does it say?
Well, let me see. I don't know. So there's a press kit here. Let me click on the press kit. Maybe
press kit. Oh, my God. Beer and... Come on, people.
Beer and pizza, dude.
See, now that is... There's not an opera house in the world that's offering you beer and pizza to come see fucking Lohengrin.
Yeah, everybody keeps trying to say, like, how do we make opera cool?
How do you make cool? How do you get people in the seats?
Yeah, give them free beer and pizza, man.
You got to be kidding me.
They'll see anything.
It's sometimes I think to myself, what the fuck are people doing?
Sometimes
it's not
it's just
that
the easy
difficult.
way.
It's not that difficult. People instead are buying, like, spending how much money on these stupid fucking lanyards that people don't even use. Oh, you use a lanyard, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but still,
I do.
Do you need one from the fucking East Kabumfuck Opera Company? No.
I don't know where my lanyard's from, dude. I don't look. No, that's not what makes it cool, man. Fucking getting people drunk and full.
Yep.
That's how you make
Drunk
people
and full,
happy.
and then let them
It's our basic needs. I mean, a blowjob and boom, you got everything done. People want shelter, love, and food. That's all we fucking care. You talk about selling opera
Dark
tickets.
Pimply Dick.
All right, man. I'm gonna read a review of this opera. We'll talk about the beers, then we'll move on. All right. So, oh God, this is kind of like a voiceover here. Here, let me do some music. Get YouTube up on your phone.
What?
I'm gonna do a proper voiceover here. Plug that
proper
in.
voiceover. What the fuck is going on?
They sent me all these voiceover clips. I
like it.
I'm gonna give them a read. This is what Mike and I are doing to support the arts.
Which one do you need? Oh, you need Towerment.
Yeah, go to Towerment and Suspense.
Towerment and Suspense. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. What do I have up there right now?
We're using my music because it's...
I got something about the Fermi paradox right now.
Fucking nerd. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get dinged for copyright, so I'm going to use my own shit. They'll still ding us for copyright.
What the fuck? Hold on. Towerment is one word, huh?
Yeah, man. I wonder what kind of pizza they got serving there.
Suspense?
Yeah, man, Suspense.
All right.
And then jump like 30 seconds in.
Okay, there's the chase, inspiring...
So this is about Bessie. Bessie, I guess, is the name of this woman.
Or Bess.
Bess?
I don't know.
Besse. How would you say that?
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Okay, hold on. I'll start it up. You
get like 30
that?
seconds in, man.
30
jump
seconds in.
there.
30 seconds in.
Yeah. I'm going to give you guys... This is what the opera's about.
Okay, hold on.
Bess.
Hold on.
Bess? Is that how?
Okay, ready? We're at exactly 30 seconds.
Push play. Get in there. Is your phone plugged in?
Yes.
Okay.
Do it, buddy.
Okay. Bessie lives in medieval England on the cusp of social change. She's in love with beer and the independence it affords her as she follows in the footsteps and traditions of the brewing goddesses and brewsters of the Sumerian civilization over 5,000 years before her. The year is 1348 AD, and England is a changing land. If Bessie does not act fast, the power of beer will soon be taken from her. Against the backdrop of the Black Death and tortured by accusations of witchcraft, she must navigate her way through the difficult and dangerous world that surrounds her to practice the art of fermentation to its greatest heights.
Fucking tits, baby. Who wrote that shit? Fucking
Someone...
Ernest Hemingway? Or... God damn it.
Fucking Man in the Sea? Or what?
Fucking Old Man in the
it?
Sea. Fucking great.
Oh, man. So it's an opera about this chick
Holy
brewing shit. All right, so let's drink some of this
I've
beer.
never been so passionate about beer.
Right?
Good
Okay.
job, people. See,
Put some effort in. Put some effort in.
People are bitching about how the art form is dying. The art form is dying. What can we do to do the art form? There are starving composers.
Yeah.
Quit it with Carmen.
Quit it.
Fucking
Quit that shit.
Quit it. Get it. There are starving composers. You know what? We need to do a PSA about all the starving composers out there.
Oh, we're trying to figure out. You talk about what Mike and I are doing. We're trying to figure out how to give composers a leg up here. We're working on it.
Why don't we get a composer on the show? Besides you, of course. You're composing all kinds of shit, dude.
Yeah, man.
I was looking through your shit recently. It's good stuff.
All right, I'm not exactly sure which beers go in which order though, because it's like a 3-part show.
I'm sure it says, right? What's the order of the shows?
Well, first there's three shows that are like 35 minutes each that go together. So this is the water section. There's Bessie Water, Bessie Rye, and Bessie Hops.
Oh my god, I love it.
So we got.
They're taking the ingredients to fucking beer and they're making opera. What a great show!
Yeah.
I know we have waxed poetic about these people before, but this is what we can do. We can get it out there to a larger audience. You know, I mean we don't. We've often talked about how much fucking money this costs to do. And it does. It costs a lot of money. But so we don't have as much money to give to an artistic thing that as we want. But we can put our voices to it. And here we go, buddy.
true.
Dig Brew Company. I love the fucking. Maybe we can post on Instagram the labels to these beers because they're
they
awesome.
look cool. Okay, so let's just crack one open here. So there's 3 parts. There's Bessie Water. Everything is running smooth. Oh, these are also voiceovers.
Up, you need the music.
All right, yeah, I'll read you the 3 parts here then.
Can I do a different piece of music though?
What, you want to make it intense? Yeah, do the.
No, we get the frightening.
No, do the chase.
Okay, Chase. Here we go. This is all Jared's music, by the way.
Yeah, fuck
ready?
it.
Here we go.
Sure.
Here we go.
Are you going from the beginning?
Yep.
Okay.
Should I jump in?
Yeah, it's fine. I gotta set the levels here. Oh yeah. Oh,
Bessie.
Bessie just wants to brew beer alone. What?
The fuck was that?
All right, so this is the Bessie Water, Rye, and Hops. Bessie Water. Everything is running smoothly at Bessie's Inn until the beer runs out.
What?
As the pressure and atmosphere heat up, Bessie starts to make choices that will affect her and her husband's life for good.
Jesus!
Part 2, Bessie Rye. In a storm of hellish guilt and accusation, Bessie takes guidance from the wise woman to convert the crowds to activate them through the power of brewing.
Bessie, no!
Bessie Hops, Part 3. As her surroundings turn against her and overwhelm her, Bessie still searches for the saintly brew. She's already triggered a reaction that has gone too far!
Watch out, Bessie!
All right, we're going to drink these things. So the first one, do you want to drink a whole can or you want to split one, Mike?
I'll split one. We can save some for later, too. They sent us a can each, but they're half liters. I got to sing tonight, so let's be cool.
All right, so this is
dude.
the Dig Brew Company Infinite Opera. Grand Union Dark Abyss is the name of this beer. It's an IPA, vegan. Bessie lives in medieval England.
How do you do vegan beer? Can someone write me in and because we had a vegan beer on before.
Okay, so this is basically the same story. The story that I read, the voiceover is also on the can. So, all right, Mike, Dark Abyss.
So then we should be able to tell which is first. Water should be first then.
Well, I don't know, man.
That's what you said.
It's the same story in all the cans. Yeah, it's the same story in all the cans. Oh, it says right here, Part 1, Water, Hathor's Revenge. This is Part 1.
Okay, well, it won't go bad in that time.
So Part 1 is Hathor's Revenge.
What kind is that?
This is a Berliner Weisse.
Nice.
All right.
To Germany, yep.
Red fruit Berliner Weisse. I got no fingernails, man.
Dude, that's pathetique. That's pathetique.
I got fingernails. I'll scratch my legs too. Ooh, look at that.
What the hell?
Pinky.
It is stinky pinky.
2 in the...
This looks like grapefruit juice.
Yeah, it kind of looks grapefruity. All right, bottoms up. Hathor's
Here's
Revenge.
to you, Bessie.
Part 1.
Whoa.
Oh, that's refreshing on a fine summer's
Let
day.
me see that.
I might take the other one to the garden there later.
Oh, my lord.
Oh, that's fruity. That tastes a little bit like that
Hathor's
grapefruit beer,
Revenge.
you know?
You are making me sweat
right.
under the collar, Hathor. You're right. It is that way, though.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on now here. Okay, so patronage. I don't know if you guys think about patronage in the arts. I think most people that just sing, they kind of just hope that someday they'll sing and people will give them money to fucking sing and they'll just like get contracts and make money.
Yeah.
That's not how the story is for a lot of people that want to make art freely.
Right.
Anytime someone starts paying you, you're kind of restrained. And at the beginning, the patrons were kings, mostly, and rich people, right?
Yeah, they were hiring people to do specific pieces for their entertainment.
Yeah, and a lot of these kings, the art was basically a part of showing their wealth.
Yeah.
They were paying for these grand concert hall and artists, not for necessarily the love of art, but just to kind of like flaunt their wealth.
It is also
You know
the
what I mean?
reason, we've talked about it before, but it's the reason why the German theater system is the way it is, because Germany didn't have political unity until very late in the history of Europe.
Yeah, yeah.
Before that, it was a bunch of separate kingdoms, basically.
Okay.
And because each kingdom or each duke was separate,
Yeah.
each one wanted to establish its cultural significance also by having a fucking opera house.
Yeah.
It's why there's an opera house in Bremen. It's why there's one in Oldenburg. It's why there's one in Hanover. There's why there's one in Osnabrück. It's why there's one in Hamburg. There are all these different places.
They're
you weren't
everywhere,
considered to be an important thing unless you had an opera house.
Right. There were some staples you needed, in the
Exactly.
city. But also, I mean, it's also, society changed in a way that, like, back in the day, it was kind of like castles, and it's like it was really divided, the rich and the poor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was not a big, fat middle class.
Right.
And only once cities started developing, and that's where this whole, like, bourgeois shit comes from. It just means, like, the boroughs of cities.
Right.
Then you had neighborhoods, and you had a big, fat middle class. And then that also affected art and patronage and who was paying to see this stuff.
Right.
Because before then, it's like the only place you could see a fucking opera would be if you went to, like, a king's fucking party. You know what I mean? It wasn't like just something you could go do all the time like you can now.
I don't know if you have a specific order you want to go in.
No, jump around, man.
Look, the start to opera, the start to fucking opera. I mean, we can basically attribute our craft to a very clear beginning with the Florentine Camerata, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Which famously included also Galileo's father, Vincenzo Galilei, was put together by a fucking patron. Did you know that?
No.
Like so it wasn't.
I think I probably
just,
learned that 10 years ago.
Yeah, of course. It's not like they were just, oh, okay, we're gonna fucking do this. It was Giovanni de Bardi. Yeah.
Okay.
And he kind of commissioned them to discuss the trends and what should guide arts in the future. Which is weird because then they ended up going back and emulating the Greek theater, which was the basis for opera. And what I wanted to say was, so Jacopo Peri came up with Orfeo, his Orfeo, and then it was only later that at one of the Medici's weddings, right? I think it was Catherine de Medici or something.
Okay,
and then she was marrying Henry or Henri, that would become the king of France. Yeah. Right? And at that they were so taken by Jacopo Peri's first opera that they commissioned, or they had his second one, Euridice, performed at their wedding. Yeah. So, I mean, these people who then had the money, had the resources to put on something so grand, their patronage is what eventually got it off the ground. And the funny thing is then, after that, it when it moved to Venice, and like at one point at the height of it, there were like 40 opera houses in Venice. It was fucking crazy. Monteverdi actually moved there so he could just start doing his fucking operas. Okay. That was largely funded just by ticket sales and everything. Okay. So after opera kind of got off the ground, and then everybody's like, oh, wow, there's this new fucking thing called opera. Let's do it. And Venice was the place to be. Yeah. It was largely funded by public. Okay. But
where was the money going?
Going back into the fucking opera house. I think it was Voltaire that said opera is the most expensive noise humans make.
Yeah. So I mean, like, the people pay tickets, and then you fund the opera. But like, who was owning the opera house? Who was controlling what was happening?
That's an interesting question. I don't think I could speak
because I wonder if it must have been.
They were privately owned, though. I know that.
Yeah, but it must have been rich fucking people.
Of course,
owning that shit.
You can't be a poor person to build an opera house.
When you talk about the Florentine Camerata, right? Did I say that wrong?
No.
Okay, that sounded wrong. The Florentine Camerata, right? For some reason, it sounds like, this noble group of people that helped decide the direction of opera,
They
right?
were.
Yes, but they were the first of something that still exists to the day, and it's a group of people saying who can make music and who can't.
That's a good way to look at it.
You know what I mean?
I didn't really think about
it's
it
negative,
that way.
but it's like that's a lot of opera now. You have a competition. There's a table of 10 people that have been appointed by fucking somebody. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you do not get to sing.
You know, it's
You know what
funny
I mean?
because even Monteverdi at that time, he was embroiled in a kind of controversy, where they were saying, "Oh yeah, the new music is so impure" or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a long fucking old trend. Is everybody shitting on newer music?
Well,
right?
and I don't want to move to now too fast, but it's relevant to talk about. We live in a fucking awesome era because with YouTube, right, and this type of stuff, for the first time now, you can gain visibility for nothing.
Right.
Just make the art, put it on the internet, and people with like the way we get our funding for this show, right, with our sponsors on Patreon, if people like and believe in what you do, they just give you directly money.
Yeah.
Not some organization that gives us a piece of it, but it's like you yourself put it on the internet. They themselves support you. This is the first time this has happened in history. You bypass the gatekeepers. You bypass the committees. It's actually an incredible time for art in that sense, I think.
No, it is true. It is true. It's the first time that normal people can do it so much. Actually, in researching for this episode, I came across I can't remember what blog or whatever it was, talking about how the Met called him for a donation, right? And the entry-level donation was $75, right?
$75.
$75 to
Okay.
be a part of this campaign. And then the guy's like, I can't really do 75. I definitely want to donate, though. I'll give you 25.
Yeah.
The guy's like, oh, we can't do that. If we can't do that, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, you got to give Mike and I 5 cents. We'll fucking
Take every one of those 5 cents.
We'll spend it on shit we
and
need.
I will buy 5 cents of beer for the next podcast.
Yeah.
You know,
a sip, a drop.
5 cents of beer goes a long way in Germany, though.
Oh, you could. I think you could get a whole beer if you were willing.
If you're getting, remember that.
Well, if you bought in bulk, you would get down to 5 cents a beer.
Yeah.
You could.
That's right. But what's interesting is so arts have especially in America, were always due to private I mean, they exist because of private donations. Period.
Yeah.
They could not exist without them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But private donations of the elite.
Yes.
And what you're talking about is a sort of different thing, and that's private donations of
that's what you mean by
normal everyday people.
The sponsors, not the artists, but the sponsors are normal people.
That's right.
Yeah, okay,
now
I
the
see.
sponsors are normal people.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's
true.
interesting because, like I said, the Met. Well, I want to get into some of these fucking ridiculous donations that have happened over history.
No, we'll get into
it. But those are people supporting arts, private patrons.
Mm-hmm.
But they're giving millions of dollars.
Right.
And the company doesn't really need you unless you're spending that kind of, unless you can throw around that kind of shit.
They're not
you know?
crowdsourcing money.
I mean, they are. Like they've called this guy for 75, but they still need their grant of $200 or $20 million or something. Like that, you know.
Well, and the stuff gets tied up in politics, you know?
Absolutely.
Money, patronage, and that's always been a political thing. It started as such.
Yeah.
You know? It's like back in the day, if you wanted to make music, for most of music history, you either had to have a private person, like we talked about in the Wagner episode, right? He had this prince that was just like, I'm fucking paying for your shit. Right? Rusalka, I mean, he had help from like Brahms, was it, I think? Yeah. It's like you either have some person that
you
has...
mean Dvorak, not Rusalka.
Sorry. Yeah. On the Rusalka episode, Dvorak had help from Brahms. Or you had a fucking king. Yeah. And then the thing we haven't touched on yet is, of course, the church.
Yeah.
The church had a lot of money, and they were putting big fucking controls on what you could do. I mean, we talk about, like... Sorry, I know you want to say something, but I got to get to this rant. Like we say, like, oh, it took so long for, like, from Bach to Beethoven, all this voice leading and harmony and polyphony. You think these composers didn't want to just do that? You think that couldn't have happened in 100 fucking years? You know what I mean? these people were limited. You would try to throw a tritone in a song, and the church was like, "Don't you fucking do that shit!
Yeah.
Don't you fucking do that shit!" Like,
well, the church, I mean, has a long history of being restrictive.
But people, well, and kings too. You know,
Yeah.
You talk about the church; they were limiting the harmonies and melodies that could happen, and women couldn't fucking sing and shit. And then you talk about operas; they were like, "You can't fucking show the king doing that."
Well,
stories were limited.
Is it really?
Shit, you know?
So? Okay, so we can do. So no.
Also, jetzt machen wir alles auf Deutsch, Michael.
Nein, bitte nicht. Nein. What we. There are some real between the two systems in
Church,
America. No, in America and Germany right now. I'll tie it into exactly what you said. Yeah,
tied up.
There are pros and cons to each system. For instance, America's system comes with no threat of force. I mean, if you consider the state supporting something like taking taxpayer money and supporting the arts or supporting a specific form of art, because there are all kinds of arts that the German state doesn't touch. They're no less deserving of that money than opera, but opera's the one that's getting it for one reason or another. Yeah, and it's a historical reason. But because of that, they've basically said do whatever the fuck you want.
With opera.
And people can go and we put in the last even though it was in Paris. Even though it was in Paris, you can put it on the moon.
Yeah, the joke we made though was in Germany. You always see operas on the moon. I've seen like 5 operas on the moon.
Yeah. I mean,
you did a Bohem where you were on a dinner plate.
Yeah, that's true. No, it was in a like a storefront window.
No, but on Act 2 there was a giant lobster on a dinner plate.
Yeah, but that was supposed to be a storefront window.
Why is the lobster so big?
Because they were supposed to be like puppets. Marcello, like instead of going to the
our buddy
Moose,
Ben was a polar bear.
Yeah, right. Anyway, what I mean is they can go fucking crazy, but in America, you have donors that'll pull shit. That'll pull money unless you're going crazy, and that's the same sort of as the patrons of the past, where you had to fit their tastes. There is a certain amount of the patrons are deciding the taste that's going on in an opera.
Yeah, this has like always happened, you know.
But it's kind of my point is that in Germany it kind of doesn't happen as much.
Yeah,
because
which is funny, oddly enough, because the biggest difference between America and Germany is that Germany is a very risk-averse culture, and America is all about risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And here in theater, they risk everything.
Yeah, but the money's secure, so then they take the risk.
Right.
In America, the money's not secure. It's risky,
right?
So then you can't take a risk with the opera.
Yep,
it's fucking backwards somehow. You know what I mean?
Well put.
It's fucking weird. But this thing I wanted to touch on, you said earlier that different like this. So basically, when you try to compare countries and how much they're spending on arts, right? It's tough because it's like you have to define what is arts and culture, right? And it's tough to make an exact comparison because in some countries, like in Australia, I think it is, the zoo is considered parts of arts and culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when you give money to arts and culture, they give money to the zoo. In Germany, I think that's not true.
Right.
You know, the zoo.
The zoo. You said Jew, dude. That is
the zoo.
Don't get
Germany and zoo in a sentence is dangerous. Okay? The zoo is like a private thing. You know, it's different. But I will say this: Germany and America. I have some stats. Germany,
get into those stats.
Germany is given and this is last year, and this was really hard to find. It's not fucking easy. I had to Google everything, you know, to find how much fucking money people spent, right? In Germany last year, in 2018, and by the way, Germany and I think Finland are like the only 2 countries that had an increase in
opera goers.
No, in federal spending on culture and arts. And Germany had a 9% increase, right? Last year, in 2018, it was approved in like May.
Germany's economy's kicking ass, dude.
It is, dude.
Wow.
And so Germany spends per year $1.8 billion on arts. And you have to keep in mind that there are 80.5 million people as of 2018 living in Germany.
Right.
And so we're talking 1.8 billion divided by 80.5 million is 22.36 euros per person.
Wow.
So $23, right? Euro's a bit stronger than dollar. Let's say $24 a person, right? America, in 2018, the NEA, the National Endowments of the Arts, right?
National Endowment for the Arts.
The arts, right?
Or of the arts. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. NEA, 152.8 million So that sounds like a lot. That's a lot less.
Yeah, a lot
million,
less.
not billion. That's
I know.
$152.8 million.
That's nothing.
In 2018, there were 327.2 million Americans. 152.8 divided by 327.2 million, 46 cents per person.
Wow.
46 cents per person in America versus 24 fucking dollars.
It's understandable
per person
though
in Germany.
because it's understandable though because it's not a system of national theaters, of state theaters
in America.
In America, right? They're private theaters, so they might be getting government money instead of just being a completely government entity.
Yeah, but also I don't have the stats here, unfortunately. But
I mean, it is shocking. It's
in
still
my
is
reading.
shocking.
I mean, the NEA is like it came into existence in 1965 with Lyndon B. Johnson, right? And it was like
that famous lover of the arts.
Right.
Dude, you should have heard. You should hear the fucking. Why do these presidential tapes exist?
Yeah.
You go to the Lyndon B. Johnson Library, and there are just a bunch of tapes of him, like saying, like him getting fitted for a pair of pants. I don't know if you've ever heard this. It's like, now look, my dong's going to be on the left side, so you got to give me a little bit more support and room in that, right? This fucking just Texas guy talking about his dong and where it needs to be.
Yeah, man. Like, they're not the most noble of people, some of these presidents,
No,
you know?
definitely not. Definitely not. As if you need the current president to, as if you need
Right,
more
dong
than
on the
current
left side is tame compared to grabbing pussy.
Exactly. But, I mean, why do they even keep... Why did he even say, yeah, record this? My dong on the left side, right? Why did he do...
Once you're president, I guess you don't give a fuck, you know? Like...
Guess not.
You did it. But the thing is, after he made it, it was, I don't want to say the wrong president, but I'm pretty sure it was fucking, because the NEA did fucking solid work till the 80s.
Yeah.
I remember, like, they did a lot for, like, African-American, Native American communities, like, leveling the playing field, which is what they were meant to do, right? And then I think Ronald Reagan, I think he either proposed to cut that shit in half or cut it in fucking half, and then Clinton did it again. Because
Clinton cut it, too.
Yeah, because in the beginning, it was a lot. It was like $5.8 billion or something back in the day.
5.8
Don't quote that number
billion?
exactly, but it was a lot of money.
Wow.
When it eventually started. And then it got cut, where now it's down to 100 and something million. And I took an econ class once, and well, the best, I remember nothing from this class in university, but the thing I remember is we looked at like national debt, endowment for the arts, military spending, education spending, and it's like $250 million for the arts, right? It's like, what the fuck does that mean, right? Take all the zeros out and turn everything into $100 fucking dollars, and then you look at it and you realize how much more money is going to other place, and that we're given like 2 cents to the arts.
Right.
In the terms of a country's fucking amount of money, in America, a country that big with a 327 million people, 52 million, I think I said, in 2018, is fucking nothing,
That's
man.
nothing, right.
That's nothing. And the structure doesn't exist. There's not like Staatstheater like in here. It's like...
Man, that's crazy, though. That's crazy.
It's fucking nuts, man. It's fucking nuts.
You know, though, look, that's one of those things, though, that gets me. Everybody, like... When people hear that, they would say, oh, yeah, of course it was Reagan that cut it. And then fucking Clinton cut it again.
Yeah,
You're getting fucked from all sides, people.
Well,
I hate to tell you guys.
Now Trump's talking about just doing away with it. He wants to just be like, no more. He's trying to cut it not in half, but cut it to zero. You know what I mean? And so it's like, and they'll attach these fucking bills onto things they know pass.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're going to increase the fucking military spending or whatever, something that we know that's going to get pushed through. We're going to fuck the arts.
Yeah, no, seriously.
You know what I
mean? That's one of the more tricky, dishonest things that the fucking politicians in America do.
Yeah.
Is that they make bills so big that you can't. You know, there was the typical thing that Nancy Pelosi said about the healthcare bill.
Yeah.
Right. And she said, "Well, look, you got to pass. We'll pass the healthcare bill, and then you find out what's in it, right? Because people were complaining. There's not enough time to read this fucking thing,
right?
Which I'm sorry,
it's all part of the game.
That is a fucking criticism that I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather it take a whole year more and have a complete understanding of what you fucking politicians are going to do. Because guess what? Republicans will pass all kinds of shit in their bills that you didn't even know was in there because they plop it in paragraph 3,526 line.
It's also going to be in legalese. You know, this fucking
it's going to be in
jargon.
legalese, so you can't fucking understand it. And Democrats fucking do it too. Because all they want to do is get their shit passed.
Well, and your agenda
it's
comes from some sort of...
dishonest.
Yeah, and the agenda for this shit is usually... some sort of lobbying bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's just,
which is why I almost prefer to leave fucking politicians out of the shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't. I don't trust a politician as far as I can fucking throw them most of the time.
Well, so like
they all just end up having some sort of fucking scandal that drives you crazy.
Oh yeah.
Even the ones that you love.
Power's hard, man. I don't know.
Power's hard.
Nobody deals with power. Dude, I always look. This is like randomly. I looked at this thing today. I'll show it to you later. It's cool. It showed the wealthiest people in the world from like the fucking 80s till now, and like it went month by month, and it looked like a horse race, right?
Yeah.
And like Bill Gates is in front, then he goes behind, and Warren Buffett, and this guy and that guy, and then the CEO of Amazon. What's his name? Jeff.
Oh,
Bezos or some shit like that.
Jeff Bezos.
He popped onto the picture and was just like, rack. He is by far the richest guy in the world.
He's a rich motherfucker.
I think it's like 153 billion or some shit. You know what I mean?
He doesn't have a small amount of money. Like Jeff Bezos could change sex, drugs, and operas lives.
Jeff Bezos could fucking.
Jeff Bezos.
He could give. Okay, so you're talking Germany gave 1.8 billion a year to the arts. He could give way more than that to America and just be like, your arts problem is solved.
Right.
You're just, fuck
there
you.
it is.
It's solved. I mean, that guy is richer than a lot of countries. I mean, how the fuck do you have that much money?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Most of us don't understand the value of $1 million.
Right.
Let alone $1 billion. Let alone 150. I mean, there's going to be a fucking trillionaire soon someday.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck that shit. He's like, what, like a tenth of the way there? More?
Yeah, that's crazy.
To being a trillionaire, the first trillionaire in history.
I can't even think about that fucking shit.
So Mike and I, if you're just tuning in, which you can't say anymore because it's a fucking podcast, we're talking about supporting the arts. We talked about in the beginning, it was like, church or king, right?
By the way, we haven't mentioned one supporter of the arts, historical supporter of the arts, who kind of combined the two.
Yeah.
And that's the De Medici family.
Yeah.
I mean, the Uffizi. Do you know that in Florence?
Are these the people that?
So there's this huge art museum in Florence, right?
Right.
And it's basically the De Medici's private collection. They were bankers in Florence, right?
Okay.
And Leonardo, Raffaello, all the Ninja Turtles were there.
I was gonna
right?
say, yeah.
And they also had 4 popes in their family.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were also involved in the engaging of, I think it was Pope Clement, the Flurkadurkus of
Flickleflap.
Yeah, Flickleflap.
Yeah.
Was the one who engaged Michelangelo to do, I don't know if it was the ceiling or the altar, behind the altar of the Sistine Chapel.
Okay, yeah.
But they then said, all right, we'll do it privately and through the fucking church.
The Medici family, though, also
the
Medici or whatever, they're also the ones that they were some of the first people that were using art patronage to cleanse dirty money.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I can't remember what it's called, but this like loan sharking basically is what they were doing. You know.
Well, look,
and then they would launder the money through artwork.
Look, to charge interest, is basically prohibited in the Bible.
Yeah.
Right. To charge interest on a loan is basically prohibited in the Bible. So there are chapels and huge works of art that the Medici family would commission as a sort of penance for their involvement in making this enormous fortune on the backs of interest, right? Which it's a normal thing. I mean, interest isn't necessarily a bad thing. You don't have money? Fine, I'll give it to you, but you got to pay me a little bit something for it.
Yeah.
It's basically just buying access to money that you want now, right? Which I don't think. Give me a fucking break. What are you supposed to do? Are they supposed to just give you a couple $100,000 euros and expect nothing in return?
In today's banking structure, you have to have interest. It's what holds it all together,
right? And it's also the incentive to give, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, but it gets out of control, like anything else, you know. Like everything.
Of course,
like,
but often,
like paying for education makes sense, but to a fucking point. You know what I mean?
Exactly. To a fucking point. I mean, but let's not get on that. I mean,
no.
Because look, you want to talk about, there's nothing that you can do to harm the arts more than just giving a bunch of people debt that they carry with them for the rest of your lives.
Yeah. But have you ever seen the movie Velvet Buzzsaw? Did you ever watch that?
No.
Dude, watch it, man.
Velvet
Buzzsaw, dude. It's with Jake Gyllenhaal, I think, but it's about the art world. And the first half of the movie is really fucking good because it's all about the value of art. because art, like a painting, has no fucking value. You know what I mean? And it's actually a business.
Yeah, and how you get in, and you have to be.
But they're just driving the price up. It's this supply and demand shit, and they're creating these markets that don't fucking exist. It's not like people wanting milk. It's like they're creating this like a lack of supply to increase demand.
I mean, it's what we talked about before. There are all kinds of artists, like painters out there, that are simply not recognized. They're every bit as talented as somebody else, but they're simply not recognized as being the greats, so they're not the greats. And I've said it a million times before. You can make art in a hole down in your basement, and it has nothing to do with the quality. You can create the best art in the world down in that hole in your basement, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't fucking matter. It's these gatekeepers, as you like to call them, which I love that term.
Gatekeepers. I think I'm going to give Maze credit for that. I think he was the first one that said that.
No, you said that before.
Fucking gatekeepers!
Yeah, you're not giving that to Maze.
Look,
although Maze, come at me if it was.
Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro.
No, but look,
I want some more beer.
Yeah, okay. Then let me. Okay, well, I'll just do it.
Well, talk while you're poor, or give it to me. I'll pour.
Well, I got to look up what the second one is then here. Oh, I think it says so on the cans. I think that's
says so on the can.
Oh, look at it. Even they cross out the first one, so you know you're on the second one.
Oh, that's good.
This is the Maleficarum, okay? And this is a pale ale.
Dude, are you sure that was the first one?
This is the third one. It's crossed out. No, we did this one first.
Oh, we did. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
good,
that one's
good,
just waiting for us. Okay, beer number 2. So this is the pale ale, and this is when Bessie, I don't know, is
pale ale.
Half pissed. You like that pour?
Why are you fucking giving me so much foam, dude?
This is the worst pour.
Can I have some beer with my foam?
You like some head, don't you?
I remember my first beer.
All right, fuck you. So, what did I want to say? Look, check out Velvet Buzzsaw. It gets fucking. The movie got shitty halfway through, but it's still interesting.
How much time do we have, dude?
It doesn't matter. We're at 46 minutes. We're gonna record a long one today.
Nice.
Okay. So Mike and I, we talked about the history of it. We talked here. Let's take a drink of this first. Cheers,
Mark.
cheers, bitch. Oh no, wait. You gotta wait till that phone goes down.
No, I'm good. Cheers me. Me.
Well, that's a real pale. This is legit beer, man.
Of course it
this
is.
Tastes like
They're not
good
sending us
fucking
shit.
beer.
And you know what I like about this pale ale?
This is
it's
a good
mild.
one. That's mild.
It's mild. It's
are
one that
summer
you're
beers.
drinking.
This
It's
is
one that
good.
you're drinking all day.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing. That's a good one. That's
but these will
really
bite
tasty.
you. This is 4.8%. The grapefruit, 3.8. The last one we got is coming in at like 6.5.
Oh,
so we're ramping it up.
Bitches.
Okay, we talked about the Kings and the church and where it came from. Music has always been controlled by patrons. That's like, that shit. None of these great composers, most of them weren't completely free to do what they want. There was also lots of sociological stuff. But right now, you can put whatever the fuck you want on YouTube. So my question now is, what the fuck do you do? Right? Because the Kings, that falls under the government now. The government gives the mass amount of money to the arts. But you, as an individual, you want to support the arts. Right? What the fuck do you do? And why support the fucking arts?
You could do what Mrs. Broad did. I think is how you pronounce it. Wait a minute. In San Francisco, I think it was. Right? Mrs. Broad said, I wanted to see a ring cycle, and my husband didn't really want to take me to Europe to hear it. So they gave $6 million to the Los Angeles Opera to put on the ring cycle.
I don't want to go to Europe.
Could you fucking imagine that?
Yeah,
she said, her way in this article, in the Guardian article about this, was like, yeah, we actually didn't do it for the notoriety.
We just didn't want to travel.
I didn't want to go to Europe.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I'm like, how fucking American?
I'm not going to Europe.
Centric can you be?
I'm not leaving San Francisco.
We're not going to Europe. I
doubt
doubt she talks like that. I wanted to see the ring. So
I want to see the
fucking
ring, so I stayed. Look, I think though, when you support the arts, it's an investment in one of two ways. Either it's a business investment and you're looking to get some money back, or you're trying to
almost never the
or
case.
you're trying to flaunt the wealth or something like that. Not in classical music, but people who do artwork or people that do pop music or people that do Hollywood movies. Hollywood movies right now are following a trend just like the Met Opera, where it's like, we're going to do the shit that we know fucking sells. Right? We're going to remake Star Wars, just like the Met's like, we're going to show Bohème, Aida,
But a good year for the Met is breaking even.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, Yeah, they're making less money because there's less of a market for
They're
it.
making
but,
no money.
But Hollywood's doing the same. Yeah, but they're maxing out what they can do because Bohem and Aida is going to max out your earnings more than some new work no one's seen before.
Right.
Just like in Hollywood, remaking Star Wars is going to max out your earnings. Remaking The Lion King, remaking Dumbo, more than something no one's ever seen before.
My point is, you're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars after making them. After spending millions of dollars to make the money or make the movie, you're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars.
I'm saying
you'll be in the black.
Yeah.
The best opera can normally hope for is getting back to even.
Yeah, but these are both financially motivated investments. You know what I mean?
How can it be financially motivated if there's no profit?
Because in a Hollywood movie, because you're trying to stay afloat, you're not saying how can we make the coolest thing. You're saying how can we make enough money to survive. That's financially motivated.
Yeah, but wait a minute. What I'm saying, okay. So it's
I'm not
financially
saying you're
motivated
making
for
money.
Survival.
Yeah,
but the people who are investing in movies are saying, I'm going to receive money back.
Yeah.
I'm
They're going to earn
now,
money.
You're right. I will earn money.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is both. When the Met looks their season, they're saying we gotta match our costs. Mm-hmm. Which is a business way of looking at it. They're not saying how can we put smiles on fucking people's faces.
I know. I'm saying from the donors' standpoint, the people who are giving to the Met are not getting money
so that's
back.
my point. Okay, so yes. Okay. So then the other thing is you're either investing for business like these Hollywood fucking producers, or you're making an investment in society because you believe that art is a necessary part of society, and you find someone and you believe what they're doing is the right direction that art needs to go in society.
Or you want to see The Ring and you're so fucking afraid to fly that you're not going to.
But whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, either way, though, you are investing. You want something back. Like, people that give us money, they are hoping that we are going to influence the opera world in some way, and that change is what they're investing in.
I see what you're saying. So, okay, you're echoing something that I actually believe pretty heavily in, and that is about, and people will hate me for this, I'm sure of it, is that the idea of altruism doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
You do something only if you get something for it in return. Mm-hmm. And that can just be as small as the satisfaction of the thing happening.
Right.
But if you didn't get satisfaction from the thing happening, you would not do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, sure.
Like, I sacrifice everything for my children, but I do it because I get satisfaction out of letting them, or I get personal satisfaction out of seeing them be.
I see.
You know?
Yeah, but
I love them.
Yeah.
And it's a legal obligation. If I didn't do it for them, they'd fucking throw me in
But
jail.
you also want them to go out and be a part of society that is good. You want them to be good in the world.
Definitely.
You know
and that's where the arts come in. Most of the people who give to the arts, they're either doing it, like you said, there can be the social status thing, which is getting something in return.
Yeah.
Or there can be society needs this, and I have the means to make it happen. I enjoy seeing society be what it can be.
Yeah. And I'll say, for those of you out there that listen, if you can't be hung up on the old system and the way of the past, right? The opera world is a little bit behind in its structure in that way.
A little bit.
And it always will be. Yeah, it's way behind. You know, it always
Monteverdi,
will be.
His operas came out in the beginning of the 1600s,
but I mean,
and we're still doing
Yeah,
them.
but the structure is like, people still believe, like, how I become an opera singer is I go to a conservatory, I go to a YAP, I get an agent, I work. And that's not the business anymore.
Right.
Go back and listen to our Maze episode. We talk more about that.
It's a valuable one to listen to.
Yeah,
people.
but the business now is, if you want to fucking sing Carmen and you're like, man, no one will hire me to sing Carmen, just put on a fucking production,
and
cast yourself as Carmen,
right.
Organize the people, organize the money, start small, and fucking do it. You sang Carmen.
There is a guy in Germany.
Hold on to your thought. I just want to say this real quick.
Yeah.
This Infinite Opera Company, that's what they did.
Right.
They named the opera company. They drew a logo. They partnered with a beer brewery, and they fucking created
and
an
the
opera.
brewery said, yeah, that sounds interesting. We'll support you.
If
Boom,
you're tired of people
done.
not giving you a gig, create your own gig.
Yep.
That's what Mike and I did here.
Yep.
A lot of people are doing that. I'm singing a show right now where someone's like, I want to sing fucking Carmen. And it's like, they just said, I'm going to make it happen.
There's a guy named Michael Vaccaro, right?
Yeah, good guy.
Real good guy. And he...
If you're in Europe, you'll run into him at some point.
Actually, here, wait, let's support the arts again. Okay. Let's put this out there, right?
Yeah.
This guy...
American tenor.
I can't remember who his mentor was. An Italian soprano.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
I can't remember. Fuck, why can't I remember who it was? Anyway, right?
Yeah.
He can't really take. I'm not always on this side of the fence, but I understand it absolutely. He couldn't take the putting Bohème on Mars. He didn't
like that shit.
He couldn't take that. He started his own opera company. In Europe. It's a privately funded opera company, which is. And it's now the biggest one in all of Europe.
Jeez.
The biggest privately funded opera company in all of Europe. This guy fucking hustles.
Oh,
he is working all the time.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what. So he does it because he loves opera.
Yeah.
He wants to see traditional productions.
And he wants to give singers a chance.
And he wants to give singers chances. Now, you contact this guy and sing for him. If he believes in you, he gives you a fucking chance. Period. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And but he also wants to keep not just quality up, but he also wants to have people that he believes in. Osborne.
Yeah.
I think his name is John Osborne, the tenor.
Yeah.
He comes and sings. He comes and sings concerts with him all the time.
Yeah.
And also he had Giacomini do a concert.
No,
with
he
him.
gets big. I can't talk about everything he's doing because I think there's like political stuff on it. But he's like having discussions with some of the biggest people. And Opera Classica, we said what it's called, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I did, but
Opera Classica, right? Opera Classica. It's and I was at his like fucking home compound, up in the fucking mountains, dude, at the peak, beautiful fucking view. The dude somehow bought a hotel, and he has like a young artist program there in the summer, brings people in, and it's just like he has huge props. He has like storage sheds and barns and
sets.
Yeah,
he buys
he's connected
sets
with all these theaters and buys these old sets. It's amazing what he created, and he did it himself.
Yeah.
He did not like get a big chunk of money. He's not a rich guy.
He
just said, "Fuck it. I want to do it."
Yeah.
And he started doing castle gigs, and it just caught on. And now he's got dukes and princes and shit requesting his shit.
Yeah, saying, "Hey, I've got a castle.
Come do your shit in my castle.
That looks like Romeo and Juliet. Come do Romeo and Juliet here."
And he is a good example of someone that just said, "Fuck it, I want to do it my way," and just did it.
You know people waiting for flowers. You taste flowers in this.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Okay.
It's you know how you go to like a nursery or something? Not a nursery. What do they call it? Like a greenhouse.
Yeah.
And you're inside it has that very specific, that moist air, and it has a bunch of flowers in it, and you taste, and that moist air has a specific like flavor. That's what the aftertaste of this.
I don't know what they have.
Exactly
they say pale ale brewed with citra throughout the boil and whirlpool, fermented with London fog with Syro citra added during fermentation. I don't know. That's probably what you're tasting. All right, we got to wrap this up,
crazy,
okay?
Dude.
But
we're not wrapping it up without. Okay, so we had a couple different sections. We wanted to support the arts today, right? We wanted to do that by mentioning Opera Classica and Infinite Opera here, and Dig Brew also.
Yep.
And then we wanted to talk about people who were doing it in the past, and now we want to give a shout out to some people who are doing it now and for us, because we could not be more grateful. We had 4 new sponsors since the last show, and man, I swear to God, people, I get a little teary-eyed when I see somebody saying, "Yeah, I believe in what you guys are doing."
Yeah, and for those of you that are helping us out, like Mike and I, fucking hustle with this thing. We work hard with this, but it takes time. But we take your money and we use it. We don't just buy the cheapest thing. We talk to people and we get the prices fucking dirt cheap so we can use the money as efficiently as possible.
Yeah.
We got 4 new sponsors. And I swear to God, when I get a free day, which hasn't been forever, I'm going to write a sponsor theme, okay?
We need a sponsor theme.
I'm going to write one for you. I want to try Mike theme.
Uncle Mike theme. Ask Uncle Mike. We need a sponsor theme. And I also want to try to take the sponsors and say all of their names as fast as possible. I want to see how quickly I can memorize
like a Pokemon
all the names.
rap.
Yeah, so that every time we get a new one, I have to add another one on the end.
Like
I don't know about that. I just wanted to go like done.
Oh, well, you can start trying that anytime you want. All right, 4 new sponsors.
4. Number 1,
incredible, Jenna Hutchings.
Come on down,
Jenna Hutchings. Jenna, thank you. Thank you for your sponsorship. I sent you a password to the secret sponsor section. Go in there, go wild.
Wait a minute, so you don't have to repeat that every fucking time. Did you send the password to the secret sponsor thing to everybody?
Yes.
Sweet. So everybody, all these 4 people who are doing it, you're getting secret sponsor content now.
Okay, next we got Philip Nako. I hope I'm saying that right.
How do you spell it?
Nako.
I don't think
NACO. I don't know.
NACO.
I don't know where. If you're American, maybe you'd say NACO. I don't know.
NACO.
Philip.
I think NACO.
Philip Naco. Thank you, Philip. We appreciate you.
Come on now, Philip.
Philip. They got that frat boy whoop. Philip.
We had a conversation about popping collars earlier today.
Oh yeah, we did.
That's in depth,
all right.
though.
Then we got
Philip's not popping.
Selah Marie.
Selah, spell it.
Selah.
Yeah, you guys are leaving us little room for error. Selah.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you guys are from, but Selah Marie Castellano. Castellano.
Hey,
I'm not sure.
Come on down. 2 L's.
Yeah, maybe it's Spanish.
Castellano.
Click. Selah Marie Castellano. Thank you.
Thank you.
Castellano. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. And next, strong 3 names, John Mark Oliver.
John Mark Oliver.
I hope you write a book or you become
Mark
a lawyer.
Oliver. I can imagine a picture of him with his, the typical watch picture where you make a fist and you put your chin on the fist and there you see the fucking watch.
Yeah.
John Mark Oliver writes a book. It's on the inside of the cover.
If you want to be a good author, you got like Michael J. Pegger. You have to have a good middle initial and a strong last name. But J.S. Ice is not an author's name.
Jared Ice, though, is not bad.
Jared Ice is a good artist's name. But I'm saying if I write a book or I'm a lawyer, I can't be like Jared S. Ice.
No, but what you might do is you just might go with Ice.
Yeah? Ice.
Yeah. Why not, dude? Who's the book by? Ice. Come on, dude.
Yeah?
That sounds good to me.
I would create a name. I'd go artist.
No, you shouldn't. Ice is so unique, dude. Everybody.
Yeah, Ice. I keep Ice, but I'd go like Powers Ice.
Oh, fucking stupid. Fucking
Stone
stupid.
Ice, right?
Stone Ice.
Stone. Yeah, that's a good porn star name, though.
Stone Ice?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Hammer Ice.
Hammer Ice.
Look, you 4, thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Made my world this past week.
All right.
Made it.
This is a long one, but I really wanted to do some Just the Tip. We're backing
do
up
some
here.
Just the
All
Tip.
right, let's get into it here.
Oh, man.
And we got to get this third beer going.
Those guys, those sponsors, those fucking sponsors.
Yeah.
It's I say it a million times. The guy who who wanted to give the Met 25 euros.
Yeah.
Or $25, and they wouldn't take it.
Send that our way.
No, I mean I don't mean to be so crass about it, but we're doing. I
can be a
hope
sponsor
that
for
we're doing
$1.
You can be a sponsor for $1 fucking dollar
a month, or you can buy us a coffee one time for $1.
And by the way, we're not so unfucking grateful to turn it down.
No,
give me a fucking break.
Yeah. And talking about sponsorship, I got to make a correction.
Okay.
I said something wrong in the last.
Okay.
In the last Secret Sponsor podcast, Mike and I talked about these glasses you can wear that show where your eyes are looking. They do eye tracking.
Oh, yeah?
The red dot. And they have a pianist who they were looking at how he sight reads, like a big time pro pianist, and then his student. And it led into this conversation about cell phones and eye tracking.
Right.
Cell phones can track your eye movements, but it's not something they're doing. What I meant to say is that they are listening to the words you're saying on cell phones, but I presented it in a way that sounded like your phones are tracking your eye movements.
That's honest.
They're not, but they can. Okay? So for those of you that listen to the Secret Sponsor section, correction, okay?
And if you don't listen, then you don't know what the fuck we're talking about because you don't have the Secret Sponsor section code. Hallelujah.
Support the arts.
Yeah. Support us. Support us. Yeah.
The tip, love.
Support the
tip,
deck.
love.
All right, let's tip it up.
Support this. Crack the third beer.
Yeah, it's already cracked, my man.
Oh, mother.
All right, the third beer is the Dark Abyss.
It's going to be hard to beat that last one.
This IPA. Is the last one IPA?
No, it's a pale
ale. IPA, okay.
I don't know. We need to have so we didn't do our last the one alcohol section. We didn't do it justice. If I do one again, I want to go in depth into the differences between beers, how an IPA is made, how port is made, what the fucking difference between them all is.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting one to do.
We can do it.
We'll do it. But right now we're tipping it.
We're tipping it up.
I don't know. We might not just tip it. We might plunge in balls deep.
We got to get at least through 2 of them, right?
Balls deep.
People are really interested in preserving cultural identity. Like whenever there's like a war or something, they start burning artwork. Or like some building like the Notre Dame, people are like, no. But people are not so interested in creating cultural identity.
Isn't that interesting?
They don't give a shit about creating cultural identity, but they give a big old shit about destroying cultural identity.
Because people
What's the fucking difference, man?
No. There's a big there's a difference because the feeling of nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
is huge.
Okay.
Is huge, especially when people talk about the good old days, right?
That's true.
When you
That's
grow
true.
up, you have such a connection to what you used to know.
That's true. Fruit by the foot,
What?
Fruit by the foot, man.
Oh, I would say gushers more.
Gushers.
Fucking gushers.
Fucking
baby.
gushers, dude.
Fucking
I would
gushers,
take the
baby.
whole bag and I'd squeeze them together and I would just eat it in one big bite, dude. It was
What,
orgasmic.
you'd squeeze all the juice out so it's
No.
inside the
I would
bag.
just like grip them together into a gushery ball. I mean, that was sex when I was 7 years old. That was cocaine and strippers. There was nothing better than
I would squeeze it together into one fucking ball and
dude.
then just
The shit I
penetrate
did,
it.
I would take the gushers, I'd wrap it in the fruit roll up, right?
Oh my god,
Oh
dude.
my god, dude! There were no rules. My parents worked
what
late.
I wanted to say though is we've talked about the spontaneity of what culture is before, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that drives me crazy, is when people try to say, or they think that they decide what culture is, and it's not true.
Yeah.
You don't decide.
You can't,
It is a
man.
spontaneous phenomenon.
Yeah.
That of a bunch of people. Like, so you create an opera, right?
Yeah.
You think that you're creating culture?
Nah.
What culture is
Yeah.
the entirety of what your opera is then a part of.
Yeah.
So
It's context. you know?
exactly. So your opera isn't the culture of that day.
Yeah.
It is your opera in the context of society. That's culture.
Yeah.
Which means that you don't get to decide what your creation ultimately is, which is beautiful.
Yeah, you don't know what it will look like in the future. I mean, you get this like with a lot of Mozart operas, right? You look at it and you're like, oh, you can't do some of that shit now. Society also changes. What do you think of the new
Also
beer?
nice.
These are good. These are 3 solid beers, man.
Man. Dig Brewing.
Dig
Brewing
Brew
Company.
up in Birmingham. All right.
I'd like it's not so far away. We could do it. We could
It's
do it.
end of July. We could
never
pop up
done-
on Ryanair and we could make a video out of
We've
it.
never really done a location
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. I'm down, man. You're the one that's got the
Tied
busy
down.
schedule, man. You're the one that's got the old ball and chain. All right. So,
All right.
just a tip. Opportunities for young singers in Germany. Hi, guys.
Every time. Every fucking time you make them sound like fucking idiots.
Been a fan of the show for several months now. Love everything you guys do. Thank you very much.
Do you want to do this over music again, like you did for the beers? No. Anyway, keep going.
I'm trying to think, if I got any like porno music out there. My name is Joseph. I'm 23-year-old baritone and just graduated with an undergraduate degree in vocal performance. And I'm taking a gap period before hopefully getting a master's degree eventually. I hope to one day study and work in Germany, one day as a singer. I will be in Europe for a YAP this fall, and I'm hoping to do some traveling in Germany to take lessons and possibly auditions, if that's even feasible for someone in my position. Was wondering if you have any advice on how to pursue this. I know in the U.S. it sometimes is possible to arrange formal visits to universities, music schools. Is that possible in Germany, or is it impossible? Okay. Boom.
You know what?
So basically, if you're coming here for a grad program or a YAP as an undergraduate, can you do auditions, school visits, lessons? Is it worth it?
Are you the thing that the sad thing about this now is I feel a little underprepared to answer that one. I know some Americans who have studied here. I didn't study here. You didn't study here, so I don't really know about the process. But I do know Americans who did study here.
Yeah.
I think it might be worth.
You definitely can do tours.
You can do
I know people have done tours.
tours, but I mean, like the official school visit. What is the etiquette of getting a lesson with somebody? Is it better to have a lesson with somebody before you audition?
I actually had this conversation the other day with one of my coaches. The Hochschule, the music school, Hochschule, right? The music schools in Germany, music conservatories, it's usually kind of standard that you would take a coaching with a teacher from the school before you come audition.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do cold auditions usually. That's a tough way to get into the school. Everything's possible, but usually you develop a relationship with a voice teacher before you show up to audition.
Okay.
A lot of people I know that are like younger singers, like a couple years ago when I like 7 years ago when I first came out here, some of the people I was singing with were 23 years old and doing that shit. You know what I mean? And you would go, you find a teacher in a city, you coach with them, you talk about the possibility of auditioning. Yeah.
It seems to me that this is that we have enough students listening to us now who might be interested in this. That I think that we should take a podcast and devote it to the different schools that are here.
Okay.
different teachers,
Yeah, we'll do
different this. I mean, because he's absolutely right. If you want to do it, you want to do it right. A trip over here is expensive. It's so expensive that a lady was willing to spend $6 million to hear the ring instead of coming over.
Well, and he said that he's going to be here anyway in the fall. Yeah. My opinion about it is this: don't spend a lot of money, which in Germany is very easy to do because there's hostels and trains to everywhere. You can take Flixbus. You can take these bus companies where it's like $5 to get from one city to another.
Right.
But it's a luck thing. A lot of it's luck. And it's timing. My experience in Germany has been that auditions happen much faster than the States. It's like, can you come sing for us next week? You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you have an agent audition, they could send you on an audition next week.
Right.
It is possible. So I say don't spend a lot of money. Fucking try it.
Yeah.
Fucking try it. I don't know how your German is, but obviously if your German sucks, then you're going to be limited, but it's not impossible.
Right.
Stick to the bigger cities.
A lot of places will say, all right, your German's not good, but that's why you can come here, and then that's it.
Yeah, there's lots of people that study with no German. Yeah, if you want to study in Germany, then some of these things, being a singer is just risky, and you just have to fucking start the process.
Right.
Without all the knowledge. There's no fucking book. Go to a Hochschule, talk to somebody,
it's the
ask your
difficult thing
questions.
about all of this. Like, you might make
and it changes so fast.
And you might make like a huge decision, and then it doesn't work out, and then your dream
just start the process. You have to try.
But you got to plunge in.
I'm gonna go on to the next one because I think it's actually similar.
Okay.
I just kind of read it while we were talking. Whoa, this is long.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna speed read. Different careers in opera.
Some music.
Hey guys. I just discovered your podcast last week. Googling for different opera podcasts randomly.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it all. Fuck it. Okay, you wrote it. I'm gonna read it, and I'm glad I did. I'm so happy to hear guys talk about opera so casually yet so passionately, like others talk about sports or Game of Thrones.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
cool,
like
man.
Game of Thrones too.
Yeah. As an opera singer
We got to
myself,
talk about that soon.
shut
Too.
the fuck up. As an opera singer based based in Chicago, I wanted to pick your brains about a few things. I trained to be a soloist at a university in the city of Chicago. Thought that it itself is an interesting story that involves switching from a music business degree to performance.
Like Jared.
Yeah, I did that. Well, I also switched from baritone to tenor. I did not do that.
You did not
I'll
do
never
that.
do that shit. Mama didn't raise no bitch. Anyway, after graduating, I somehow found myself in the strong choral scene and made a decent living from solid union gigs.
Nice.
And while doing my fair share of American yaps. In the past couple of years, I've actually tried really hard to get a regular tenure spot. Okay, I'm going to start jumping here, man. Past years, for some reason, the time around, I found myself in sort of impasse. Okay.
Your jumping is just reading it on air.
No, I'm skipping huge sentences. I started to think about going to school for a master's, okay, computer science. My girlfriend is also a singer, has much more gig, freelance-oriented career. Okay, and she does the
Junkie
singer
whore on the streets.
the
for a
singer
time.
hustle, side jobs, teaching, whatever performance I've done. Okay, she's planning on going to Germany for an audition tour this coming fall, and I was wondering if you guys had more insight to how one goes doing a European tour nowadays.
We've talked. We've okay. Go ahead.
Okay, she has an upper hand because she speaks some German. Okay, that's good. I don't speak German. All right, my friend sings in Switzerland. Bern, good place. They got a bear pit there. He loves it as a chorus fest singer. He sent me a link. The Zurich Opera has openings for tenors. Okay.
Okay. So
Well, I'm almost done. They required German proficiency to apply. How much German did you know before coming to Europe? The same friend almost told me that people kind of just go to a major German city and sing for a German government agency, the ZAV he's talking about. And that would be in charge of filling out fest contracts. How much of that is true? How hard is it really to move to Europe and sing?
Jesus, dude.
Is it hard to go from one chorus fest to a solo fest?
Yes. Can we just start answering some of these questions?
Okay, yeah, we're going to go. So you're interested, it sounds like you're interested in doing...
You're interested to be a professional singer in Germany.
Yeah, chorus work or solo work.
Yeah.
Do you need a language? Who do you sing for? All right. You want to jump on there, Pegsy?
Wichtig, Deutsch zu sprechen.
Ja.
Das kann man schon sagen.
Man muss Deutsch sprechen.
Man muss Deutsch sprechen, das musst du jetzt, also mindestens anfangen zu lernen jetzt.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is I know people who suck at German who are here and working. In chorus and...
You asked how much German we knew. I believe both of us spoke no fucking German.
Not really any.
No goddamn German when we came here. And you learn it. But there's a lot of chorus people that don't have great German. You need
There's
to
a
make
lot
it
of
through an
chorus. There's a lot of solo people who don't have great German.
Look, when you go to an audition in Germany, you got to be able to say, hi, my name is Jared Ice. Ich möchte Madamina singen, right?
Yeah.
You have to be able to introduce your piece, and then they're going to say, can you sing something else? Blah, 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 blah. You don't have to have a lot of German to make it through an audition.
The more you,
they're not gonna chat you up.
why
most of the time.
not be good? Why not be as good as you can be?
Yeah, no.
If
do
you know
what
you want to
can.
come here, if your point is I want to go to Germany, then fucking start yesterday.
Yeah, get Duolingo and do that shit. But my point is also don't let it stop you.
Yeah, don't let it.
If you
stop
think it's not
That's
going to
right.
limit you, of course. You're going to be limited. The more German you can, people are normal. They want to have a conversation with you.
Right.
Imagine some dude auditions for you, sings great, and you're like, so where do you live? And he's like, Lib? Lib? Like, you'd be like, fuck this guy. Like, you wouldn't want to deal with it. Just put yourself
but
in
then
their
again,
shoes. You know what I mean?
You guys as English speakers
Yeah.
have a leg up. English is the lingua franca. English.
No, English is going to give you a huge advantage.
Of course, because everybody speaks English.
There's a bunch of Chinese singers that come over here and they speak no German. It's like,
but they speak English.
but they don't speak it well.
Oh, you're saying to people who don't speak any of those, then they have
they got to fucking struggle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They struggle then.
But you can speak in English. And my first 8 auditions, I did in fucking English.
It's actually funny because it's kind of a mark of a theater to be more of an international theater, to be able to have people who are speaking English, right?
Yeah, and the big houses will only work in English.
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah. If you have an international cast. But, so you talked about the ZAV, right? Which I can't remember what that stands for. The Zentrale Arbeit something. I don't know. ZAV. ZAV. You can go to their website. There's one in Cologne, Berlin, Munich, Hamburg. I think not near Frankfurt. I think you have to go over to Cologne.
Yeah,
but they're an agency. You got to book months in advance.
Yeah.
So if you're coming over here in fall, you already want to write them a letter.
Yeah.
Write them in English. It's fine. But you can't sing for all of them. It's got to be in the region you are. You know what I mean? But it's free to sing for them, and they'll give you feedback. And if they take you on, then they take no commission if they get you a contract.
Right.
But they also don't work with the most houses.
I have gotten gigs at A houses through the ZAV.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean most houses. I mean they don't work the most houses.
Right.
Because the Hamburg ZAV is going to work in that region. They're not going to.
Oh, right.
They're not going to work in the Cologne region.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
But if you have an agent, they work all of Germany.
Right.
They'll
That's
send
true.
you all over the fucking country. Chorus shit. It's good fucking money. They make more money than us soloists most of the time.
Yep.
They have way better benefits.
Yep.
Mike and I have talked about it on the show before. But if you do a lot of chorus work, you're going to have a hard time jumping to solo work.
It's pigeonholing, but that's the way it is. So there are advantages and drawbacks to everything. The advantage is steady work, and you after a year, I think
you can get
Probezeit,
a 10-year contract, a trial period.
As a trial period,
yeah.
Then you're basically tendered.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Yeah. You can make a lot of money. They're making tons of money,
and I think it's definitely worth looking into and worth trying for. I know plenty of American singers who are happy as pigs in shit.
Yeah,
singing in the chorus, and you get oftentimes oftentimes for smaller roles.
Yeah,
they need it. I know one of the chorus members, a Japanese chorus member in Darmstadt.
Okay,
she sang our Zerbinette, and she killed it.
Yeah. And it's not impossible to move from chorus to solo stuff.
No, but she kept her. What I mean is, she kept her chorus job.
Yeah, sure.
What's funny
they'll
is
give you small roles,
so
supporting roles.
But Zerbinette is a big role.
Yeah, that too. Everything from supporting roles up to big roles you can do sometimes.
So, the bigger roles are of course more rare than the other ones. But
yeah, of course.
What you have is she has her full-time stuff that's going on, and she's getting her money as a chorus member, and then when she does a role on the big stage as a soloist, she's getting paid for that on top. So it's not a bad gig.
No, they make fucking bank. But we got to wrap this up here soon. But also the thing is you got to understand that there's fucking niches. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like concert singers are concert singers,
Yeah.
soloists are soloists, choir singers, choir
more
singers.
separated
And
in
there's
Germany.
experience. I mean, just because you're a soloist doesn't mean you're going to be a great concert singer. You might be trying to fucking sing louder than everyone. You might be overacting back there. They want to know that you're going to do your fucking job.
In
and just
America,
because you've
it's
sung
kind of-
Iago bunch doesn't mean you can fucking sing an oratorio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
They
In
wanna
America,
see
it's kind of like
experience.
it's kind of like one market, right? But in Germany, you've got to you've got to actively go after the concert scene if that's what you want.
Okay, we got to close this up. I just want to say one more thing. You say how realistic is it to move to Europe and start a singing career? It's fucking hard. It's not easy.
fucking hard.
It's fucking hard, and it's hard for singing reasons, but it's also hard for life reasons. Okay,
Yep.
It's really fucking hard. But if you want to take a shot at your dream, try
worth
it
it.
once.
It's
Come
worth it.
out and at least fail fucking trying. You know what I mean?
Fail fucking trying.
Yeah, fail trying. Don't
New
fail
t-shirt
before you fucking
coming
try.
out.
All right, everybody. Hope you're having a good time.
Support the arts in any way that you can. If
Support the
that's
arts.
going and giving somebody some money, like Sex, Drugs, and Opera or the Met,
Yeah.
do it. If that's singing your heart out and
Yeah.
supporting the arts, do it.
And if you want to put something out there, you want to sing Carmen, fucking put it together.
Fucking do it.
Do it. Don't wait for the gatekeepers.
That's
okay?
right.
You do your own
Gatekeepers-
fucking shit.
Gatekeepers can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.